Coming up on NewsWatch 17, NASA says that Delta rocket was blown up on purpose once it went off course. We'll go live to the Cape. In Jacksonville, the body recovered near the Fuller Warren Bridge has been identified. Also tonight, what is it students of a Jacksonville babysitting course find valuable? We'll pin it down next on NewsWatch.
From WJKS, it's NewsWatch 17. News with John Nicholson, sports with Irv White, and weather with Sam Champion. This is NewsWatch 17, Saturday.
Good evening. It is now 3 times it has happened since the end of January. 3 NASA rockets have exploded. The Shuttle Challenger at the end of January that killed the 7 astronauts, an Atlas unmanned rocket in California a month ago, and tonight at the Cape an unmanned Delta rocket. NASA now says it was exploded deliberately about a minute after launch when it went off course. Tonight, a news conference at the Kennedy Space Center.
The main engine, the liquid stage engine, and the vernier engines shut down. The vehicle then drifted with the 3 airlift solids burning until it created an angle of attack big enough to tear off the fairing, which you might have seen. Eventually, range safety, I'm told, sent the struck as the vehicle went over.
That rocket was carrying a weather satellite. Of course, that now will not be up there. We are still left with the one that was readjusted after the previous GOES satellite went out. It is being said at the Cape tonight the space program, if not dead, is certainly in limbo. Apparently, everything now is being shut down, at least for the time being. A victim of the earlier NASA accident was laid to rest today at Arlington National Cemetery. Navy Commander Michael Smith, one of the 7 Challenger astronauts, was buried with full military honors. After an afternoon memorial service, Smith's remains were taken to the gravesite. He was eulogized as a man who had a clear vision of the future, who always asserted he was going to be an astronaut. On May 29th, I should say the 19th, Shuttle Commander Francis Dick Scobie's remains are to be buried also in Arlington National Cemetery. It appears tonight the Soviet Union is growing more concerned over the nuclear accident at Chernobyl. In a rare move, the Soviet news agency TASS announced the Kremlin's number 2 and 3 men went to the plant site to oversee operations. Soviets also say the area around the plant still is hot, and they don't know when people there can go home. Other world and national news this Saturday night. President Reagan in South Korea meeting with Britain's Margaret Thatcher ahead of that 7-nation summit in Tokyo. In his weekly radio address, taped, Reagan criticized the Soviets for stubbornly refusing to give out information on Chernobyl. In Sri Lanka, 21 people are dead, 24 hurt in an explosion aboard an Air Lanka L-1011. It's believed there was a time bomb aboard. Nobody has claimed responsibility yet. And in Oregon, a man hijacked a Learjet as it left Eugene, later released the passengers and crew, slashed his wrist, and gave up. He went to a hospital, then to jail. Here in Jacksonville, 6 people have been killed in traffic accidents in the past 16 hours. This morning on I-95 near Greenland Road, 3 members of a family from Miami died, along with a woman in a car that hit theirs head-on. Both cars burned. The dead, Millie Barr and her children, Raymond and Kimani, and a woman as yet still unidentified. Alex Barr and his son Clifton are hospitalized, as is Cheryl Matthews, who was in the other car. This afternoon, where Talleyrand becomes Wigmore Street, 2 more people died when a car hit a concrete pole. One was a 3-year-old child named Danielle Talifer. The other, a man identified tonight as Albert Wooten of Jacksonville, a friend of the child's family. He was 23. And tonight, Jacksonville police confirm it was Randall McGee's body that was found this afternoon. McGee's family had been keeping a vigil by the riverbank, the St. John's, and was there when the body was brought in near the Fuller Warren Bridge today. He'd been working there early Thursday when a car plowed into the construction crew, apparently knocking him into the St. John's and killing another worker on the bridge. The man, said to have been driving, drunk, is being held. Tonight, for the first time since then, the bridge is closed again overnight. The work resumed. A record-breaking crowd at the Fernandina Beach Shrimp Festival. We'll tell you more about that, and we'll have the story about some people who are living in a town time divided, as NewsWatch continues.
I really really going to let her go down into the tank until we can determine the cause of her husband's death, are you?
But that had been determined. Drowning.
This is Jack Klugman. Here are some scenes from the next episode of Quincy.
She has less than 3 minutes to escape from the death challenge.
She's not ready, Quincy. She's just not ready.
Take her out, quick! You killed your protege, Soltini. You almost killed his wife, Georgette. I'll bless up, but this guy must have been in orbit.
I don't know anybody who would want to see him dead.
I do.
Who?
Quincy, Monday on WJKS.
There'll be plenty more shrimp and other good things to eat tomorrow during the final day of this year's Fernandina Beach Shrimp Festival. Today, some 55,000 people jam the streets downtown. This has been an annual town outing since 1963, and the organizers say it gets bigger every year. Besides the food, 8 blocks of arts and crafts to browse through. Now, tomorrow's highlight set for 2 in the afternoon is the annual Blessing of the Fleet. Lately, shrimp boat owners have gone through some tough times. Many can't get liability insurance for their boats anymore. So tomorrow, about 50 boats and crew expected to receive the annual send-off, the blessing for a safe and a prosperous shrimp season. In Jacksonville's Springfield section, volunteers have been applying paint to some old houses, a considerable brightening effort called Paint Your Heart Out. It's an idea the woman in charge hopes is going to be contagious for the area.
And we're hoping that if we can start it on one block, I mean, there are 3 houses on this block already that have been painted recently, so we're hoping it'll create the domino effect on the other blocks also and spread out.
Senior citizens live in the houses. The paint's been donated. The volunteers come from various groups, and the Springfield Neighborhood Housing Services put the whole thing together. About 250 would-be babysitters in Jacksonville ought to be feeling a bit more confident tonight thanks to Hope Haven Children's Hospital. Its hospital sponsored a seminar today to teach people how to be a babysitter. Lectures given on what to do when there's trouble. But some who attended said their favorite part was how to diaper a baby. Now, we're talking about basics right here, folks. Often a stinking task.
Gave me confidence of what I was doing and stuff like that. Stuff that I didn't know when I first started, and safety tips, stuff like that.
Now, as a father of 5, I know about this stuff firsthand, but if you missed out, don't worry. Another seminar for babysitters set for June 28th. Irv says JU alum Donnie Hammond, he has some catching up to do tonight. We'll have more about that, plus probably the heaviest topic Irv has ever tackled. Sports next on NewsWatch. I guess we're going to see some folks now who would make an awful lot of us feel kind of puny, I would think. Irv.
Me, yeah.
Me.
How much weight can you lift?
I get myself out of bed every day if I'm lucky.
That's kind of the same predicament.
Really?
I mean, these guys do a little bit better. The little guys competed today. The big guys go at it tomorrow at the U.S. National Weightlifting Championships. That's going on in town this weekend. Now, actually, there are no little guys in this sport. The divisions are based on body weight. There are 10 classes. The lower 5 went today, with the heavier division scheduled for tomorrow. Now, weightlifting isn't much of a spectator sport in the United States, but that's not to say it isn't a fun sport to watch. Check this guy out right here. Yeah, he's loving it. Now, check this guy out right here. Try to do a couple of these before you go to bed tonight. John, try those before. Yeah, all right. Now, you've got to listen to this next guy right here. He's coming up. Listen to him. Yeah, you hear that yell? That's sort of a pre-lift yell, and does it work? Let's see. Yeah, anything to get a lift in. In addition to awarding national titles, the U.S. National Championships will also determine the teams for the Goodwill Games, the U.S. Olympic Festival, and the World Championships. Here's a look at the winners from today's activity. The 52-kilogram Steve Womble and the 86 kg Gene Gilsdorf. Bryant Miyamoto, I think is how you say that, in the 60 kg, 7.5 Cal Shake, and in the 75-kilogram category, Gary Savage. They'll start at noon tomorrow at the Civic Auditorium. The not-so-favored Ferdinand won today's 112th Kentucky Derby. With 17-to-1 odds, 54-year-old Bill Shoemaker brought Ferdinand from far back at the start to the lead down the stretch to win the Run for the Roses. It was Shoemaker's 4th Derby win, and he said patience was the key.
Take my time and gradually move up and weave my way through the field, and if he's got enough in him, and I find a place for him to run, he'll get the job done.
And he got the job done. He paid $37.40 for the win. Bold Arrangement was second, followed by Broad Brush. The favorite Snow Chief finished a disappointing 11th. Florida A&M alumni met their new football coach tonight. Ken Riley paid a visit to Jacksonville. Riley, who took over at FAMU back in January, was the guest speaker at a dinner in his honor. The former Cincinnati Bengal says he has some definite plans for the Rattler program.
The thing that we're trying to do now is build a good basic program, a program that will not only stand today, but also stand tomorrow. And that's the biggest emphasis now is coming off the ground on a good, strong, solid foundation.
And by the way, Florida A&M will play the 9th annual Florida's First Coast Bowl City Classic in the Gator Bowl September 13th. They'll take on the defending NCAA Division I AA champion Georgia Southern. I'll get it right. The Bulls wrapped up their week-long mini-camp today at the Gator Bowl today. Several hundred fans came out to get an idea of what the team looks like and what the cheerleaders look like also, and both are looking pretty good. Official team practice begins in August. Australian Greg Norman has the lead after 4 rounds of the Panasonic Las Vegas Invitational. Norman heads into tomorrow's 5th and final round at 20 under par. Former JU golfer Donnie Hammond, who shared the 3rd round lead, has fallen to 7 strokes off the pace. This putt for par on 17 put him at 13 under for the tournament. As we go to the scoreboard, Norman has the lead at -20. Dan Poole is at 3 strokes back at 17 under. Dave Rummels, Larry Nelson, and Bob Tway are tied for 3rd place at -16. The Mets won for the 13th time in 14 outings today. New York beat up on Cincinnati 4-1 at Riverfront Stadium, handing the Reds their 7th straight loss. Highlights of that action right here. Top of the 2nd, Howard Johnson scores the first Mets run. Nick Osaski with a throw home, and that is Danny Heap scoring 1-0 Mets. The Reds score their lone run in the 2nd. Butero scores Buddy Bell on this base hit to right field. It is 2-1, Mets leading it. Later, the Mets ice the win when Keith Hernandez sends this John Denny pitch home with one of the fans there in the lower deck. His first homer of the season as the Mets go on to win it 4-1. Meanwhile, the Braves won their 3rd straight, beating Philadelphia. Glenn Hubbard collected 4 runs for the Braves today. He had 3 doubles. Rookie shortstop Andres Thomas also had a good day. 3 doubles for him on 4 hits. And all the Braves had 9 two-baggers as they won it 10-4. Elsewhere, Montreal over Houston 7-6. San Fran loses to Chicago 6-5. In the American League, Boston 4, Oakland 3. Seattle beat Toronto 4-2. In 10 innings, Milwaukee beat California 4-3. Cleveland, an 8-7 winner over Chicago. Detroit over Minnesota 7-4. Baltimore over KC 3-2. Southern League action tonight. The Expos won for the 2nd straight night over Knoxville 2-1. And in college baseball, JU over Old Dominion 7-6. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow at 1:30. An interesting note about that ball game I'll tell you later. First, we'll talk about this. 76ers hold a 2-1 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks today in the playoffs. Charles Barkley, 29 points. He fouled out of the ball game. Close would not describe it. Terry Katniss let that one get away from him. Ricky Pierce, it's tied at 85. But the Sixers kept their cool. Check this out. Dr. J will get it off to Bobby Jones. He puts it in. Sixers by 1. They win it by 4, 107-103. And tomorrow's Winston 500 Talladega will mark the first time in history the entire field is qualified at over 200 miles per hour. Bill Elliott has the pole position after qualifying his Ford T-Bird at just over 212 miles per hour. And what I was talking about, the JU game, they play Old Dominion. They're ranked 12th in the nation, Old Dominion is. They'll play them tomorrow, a doubleheader at 1:30. Now, the magic number for JU is 1. So if they win one of those ball games tomorrow, they will clinch the Sun Belt Conference Eastern Division. Right now, they are 11-4.
Do they then get an automatic berth in the NCAA tournament if they get the division, or they have to win the whole league?
I don't exactly understand it too much, no. But the Eastern Division, they have 2 divisions in the Sun Belt Conference, and has to do with who will host the tournament.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think they'd get in there with their record.
I think the top 2 teams, I don't know, I'll check up on it and let you know exactly how they work it out.
I see in big league baseball my Giants are sinking in the West.
Yeah, I heard you moan.
Yeah, it's painful. Okay, thanks, sir. Well, normally Rufus Hafer and Beth Campbell are in the business of offering tips on the weather and on consumerism. Well, tonight they were looking for tips on behalf of a good cause. We'll show you more when NewsWatch continues. Never let it be said that old Rufus Hafer and Beth Campbell aren't good sports. Here's proof that they absolutely are. Our fearless chief prognosticator delivering the goods to customers at Red Lobster tonight. I wonder how they rated his service factor. And our consumer reporter, dishing up presumably only the best buys, Beth and Rufus among the celebrities collecting tips for Easter seals tonight. The second year Red Lobster's been involved in all this. Now, doesn't Rufus look great in an apron? You gotta do the show that way, I would think. On a serious note, the loss of the satellite that was supposed to go up tonight can really mean something to us, I guess, in terms of what we know about hurricanes this hurricane season, Sam.
It has been quite disappointing to this whole end of the business because we were hoping to get it up in the air in time to see and take better pictures of hurricane storms as they develop and track them up and down the coast a little bit better. So it is a little bit disappointing. Of course, we'll still be able to do it the way we always have by using what's already in the sky, but it is not as nice as we would like to have had that in the air. But it looks like as far as our conditions going into the weekend, we can smile a little bit. A few more clouds on our way. Things are changing for tomorrow, and we'll show you how and why in just a second. Right now in Jacksonville, it is 60 degrees, 66 at the beach, 67 in St. Augustine, 62 in Highland and Bradford County. Relative humidity 70%, barometric pressure at 30.15 and rising, and the winds are from the northeast at 9 miles per hour. For the record, high temperature 74 degrees today, a little cooler than we would like to have been. 83 would be normal, 54 degrees, again a little cooler for the low. Those type of temperatures will carry on for a little while longer. Will probably be a little bit higher tomorrow afternoon. Just in case you were thinking about ordering out for Rufus and Beth to deliver to your home, I understand that they are not doing takeout orders, but they were only working one night a week. Take a look at these temperatures across the area. 66, a common number on the coast. 67, a little bit warmer in St. Augustine now. 69 up in Waycross as well, or 59, excuse me, in Waycross as well, and a few other locations, and 62 in Gainesville. Now on the big picture, we've got two different things going as far as temperatures. In the desert Southwest, temperatures tonight and this afternoon were up into the 90 and 100 degree mark reading in that area, but however the big difference was in the northeast where those temperatures were down into the 20s and 30s. They have frost and freeze warnings out for those folks. The southeast, well, we're cool. We're right in between all of that. We're cool and not where we'd like to be for normal. 53 in Nashville, 60 in Atlanta. It is cool night air that is affecting us for tonight, and the cloud cover as well would lead you to believe that things will not be much warmer tomorrow than they were today, and that is indeed going to be the case. Let's take a look at that cloud cover now. You'll see all of it swirling around the coast. It is in a little bit different fashion and not moving out just exactly like we thought it would at 6 o'clock, all because even though that frontal system is moving out of the way exactly like we thought it would, there's been a new development here. This little low-pressure cell is going to be a visitor for us right around the tip of Florida. That's going to mean those clouds will stay around with us a little while longer. I think some sunshine will get through tomorrow, but it's just not going to be quite as sunny as we thought it would. High pressure will eventually start to push that out of the way, so it's not going to be a total loss, but it's just going to take a little time for that high to get there. We hope it will start to move things out in time for the festivals and the boat races and everything else that are going out tomorrow. Cool and cloudy across the area tonight. Again, here's the way your sky conditions look at this time. You can see those clouds moving across. They're not heavy and there's not any moisture in them, and there might as well be if we're going to have all the clouds, but they are light, low-level clouds and very dry at this time, not helping us out much at all. On tonight, the first coast, do expect some cool breezes to be around. Temperatures will be 59, 60 category on the beaches and a little bit lower into the lower 50s inland, and the breezes outside will mean you'll probably need to carry a sweater with you. How will things look tomorrow across the nation? We are finding some sunshine scattered in between some thunder shower activity, all as high pressure starts to move off toward the east coast. Again, look for most of that shower activity to be concentrated to the south. I drew an optimistic little sunshine there on the first coast, hoping that by tomorrow afternoon we'll get some. Keep your fingers crossed for that. City by city, again, we go to these temperatures. 78 degrees, partly cloudy, partly sunny skies here on the first coast as well, and the thunder shower, thunderstorm activity concentrated a little bit further south. If you're heading toward Miami, you do expect some thunderstorms and thunder shower activity. Or if you're going to be in Fernandina, expect maybe a little bit of partly sunny, partly cloudy skies, and things will be nice enough for the festival tomorrow. It doesn't look like we're going to get any rain. For tonight, partly cloudy, breezy and cool, low temperature of 53 to 60 degrees. For tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies, but mostly sunny, hopefully by the afternoon, breezy and mild, a high temperature of about 75 to 78 degrees. On the marine forecast, if you are going to be boating tomorrow, expect waves 6 to 9 feet. Inland waters will be choppy as well. The winds will be northeast to east at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and the surf temperature about 70 degrees. On the Rufus factor, we're going to drop it down a notch from where we were at 6 o'clock. We're going to go for an 8, probably because those clouds will be with us a little bit heavier than we thought they would be at 6. Long range look for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all to be about the same day as far as sky conditions goes. Temperatures will start out cool in the week and warm up a little bit later by the end of the week. Wake-up weather. Cool morning air, temperature about 58 degrees. It will be another breezy day tomorrow. Again, if you're heading out boating, do be careful. We did have a small craft advisory out tonight. Temperatures will be, winds will be back up near that 15 to 20 mile per hour mark, and that will be at least a caution. So be careful if you're in a small craft.
All right, good advice. Now, when are we going to see you in an apron?
Well,
or some strange get-up like old Rufus?
I had to work. That was my excuse.
Oh. I see. We'll see if we can make some arrangements for you next year.
Thanks, John.
All right,
I
you're
knew you'd do
welcome
that
anytime, Sam. Well, say, I feel like Buffalo Bob. You know what time it is? Well, for some people, it depends what side of town you're on. More about this in just a moment. How would you like to be able to leave home for work and get there earlier than you left and never leave town? Well, Leon Ransom tells us you can do that in Union City, but it's hard to trust anybody there to give you the correct time.
Union City is a town divided. It lies on the state line between Ohio and Indiana, and that has the town's 6,000 residents in a state of confusion. That's because Ohio made the move Sunday to daylight savings time, while Indiana did not. The state line runs straight down one of the town's major streets. So while it's well past noon at Bill Ackerman's service station, right across the street at Sir Pizza, it's not even lunchtime yet. But being in two time zones has become a way of life for many residents here, such as Orla Hoffman and Louis Washley, who live across town from each other.
That makes a difference, yeah. Going over in Indiana makes it kind of bad. You're an hour ahead of them over there, and they're an hour behind us when they come over here. That makes a difference.
Robert Reichert, police chief of Union City, Ohio, says residents have even found ways to make the most of the time difference.
The most unique thing is that probably if you have an appointment at 10 o'clock on one side, if you don't talk too long, you can make an appointment at 10 o'clock on the other side.
To ease the confusion, many businesses, churches, and offices have made their own time zone, which is a half hour between the two official times. But being divided has always been a way of life here. Because neither Ohio nor Indiana has jurisdiction outside of its own boundaries, Union City is divided in half for municipal purposes. There are 2 city halls, 2 police departments, 2 fire departments, and 2 zip codes. But Union City is also united by 1 post office, 1 economy, and 1 grand sense of confusion. As a matter of fact, if you live in Union City, you might want to always check to make sure you're on time. For NBC News, Leon Ransom, Union City, Ohio.
My producer tells us we're on time, so that's NewsWatch for this Saturday night. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow at 6.